She was just 50 yards from her front door when she vanished. 9-year-old Lena Whitaker, a quiet town in Oregon, a school bus stop, a pink backpack. Welcome to Family Crime Chronicles, your ultimate destination for chilling true crime stories. We uncover the darkest corners of real-life mysteries, twisted affairs. Please like, comment, and subscribe now for new episode of True Crime Stories. The last thing she did was wave to her neighbor across the street, and then she was gone. For 15 years, her family searched. A town grieved. A community held its breath, desperate for answers that never came. The case went cold, until a mushroom forager stumbled upon something buried in the forest. Something pink. Something that hadn't been seen since 2001. This is the story of Lena Whitaker, of the last 50 yards, of the lies that buried her truth, and the shocking discovery that changed everything. May 14, 2001. Arbor Falls, Oregon, a town wrapped in fog and fir trees. The kind of place where people left their doors unlocked, where kids biked to the corner store, and everyone knew everyone else. That afternoon, the school bus pulled up like it always did. Children clambered off. Among them, 9-year-old Lena Whitaker, petite, shy, and always clinging to her favorite cloth doll, a handmade rag doll named Bonnie. Lena stepped down from the bus and waved at her neighbor, Mrs. Ellison, who stood watering her garden. She walked a familiar path home, her pink backpack bouncing against her back. Her mother had arranged for Lena to stop by the Langstons' house until she returned from work. The Langstons lived just next door. It was a routine, but Lena never arrived. Mrs. Langston assumed Lena went inside her own house. But when Joanna Whitaker pulled into the driveway at 5:35 p.m., the front door was locked. No Lena. By 6:15, panic had set in. That night, Lena's bedroom was examined. The bed still made. The stuffed animals in perfect order. Her clothes the next day laid out. Denim skirt, yellow sweater. But Lena was gone, and so began the search. Detective Madeline Ruiz was called to the case that night. She was new to Arbor Falls, a recent transfer from Portland. Ambitious, relentless, she ordered a full-scale search by morning. Dozens of volunteers combed through the town. They searched under porches, in sheds, inside tree houses, and out in the nearby woods. Tracking dogs picked up a faint trail. It ended near the edge of the forest. Helicopters scanned the area. Heat signatures were tracked. Divers were sent to check nearby creeks and ponds. Flyers went up everywhere. Then, a week later, a break. 2 teenage boys, Daniel Cho and Kyle Brody, told police they saw a girl who looked like Lena get into a maroon sedan around the time of her disappearance. The car had out-of-state plates. They couldn't remember the full number, but thought it might have started with 5KA. She didn't seem afraid. They said. Police issued a bulletin. Dozens of maroon cars were pulled over. None matched. The tip dried up. No one else saw the car. No surveillance footage existed. And Lena remained missing. 6 months passed. In November, a man named Eddie Bloom walked into the Arbor Falls police station, accompanied by his mother. He was 26, developmentally disabled. He told the officers he had hurt Lena. According to Eddie, he had approached Lena in the woods to apologize for frightening her weeks earlier. She screamed. He tried to cover her mouth, to calm her down, but things escalated. He panicked. He said he left her body in the forest, under some brush. Search teams returned to the woods. Nothing was found, but Eddie knew details that hadn't been made public. The name of her doll, the sweater she wore, the way her backpack was decorated. Joanna Whitaker sat in court and listened to the confession. She sobbed. It wasn't the ending she wanted, but it was closure. Eddie Bloom was convicted of involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to 25 years. But Detective Ruiz never felt settled. His confession was shaky. The timeline didn't fit, and no physical evidence ever linked Eddie to Lena. Still, the case was considered closed. October 2016, Cascade National Forest. A mushroom forager named Natalie Greer was hiking along an unmarked trail 14 miles from Arbor Falls. She spotted a corner of something pink poking out of the earth. Curious, she knelt down. It was a backpack, dirty, faded, and half buried. Inside, a small rag doll, a denim skirt, a yellow sweater, and a school folder with the name Lena Whitaker scribbled inside. Nearby, a shallow grave. Bones. Children's bones. The remains were confirmed to be Lena's. But there was more. Forensic analysis showed Lena had not died there. She had been buried months after her death. The decomposition timeline didn't match Eddie's story. In fact, none of it did. So after 13 years in prison, Eddie Bloom was exonerated, released, apologized to. But Lena was still dead, and someone had put her there. With new evidence came new DNA testing. Soil samples from the backpack, skin cells from inside the doll, a partial print on the zipper. It matched someone, Daniel Cho, one of the teens who claimed he saw Lena get into the maroon car. But Daniel was dead. He died in a car accident in 2011. No charges could be filed. Then another surprise. Daniel's younger brother, Lucas Cho, now 27, walked into the police station. He asked to speak to Detective Ruiz. He had a secret. The story about the car? It was a lie. There was no maroon sedan. Daniel made it up. Daniel had taken Lena. Lucas said it started as a prank. Daniel thought it would be funny to scare Lena, to make her think she was being followed. But something went wrong. She panicked. He tried to calm her. She fell, hit her head. He didn't know what to do, so he buried her. Months later, he moved her body. Lucas had helped cover it up. He had kept it buried for 15 years. DNA confirmed Daniel had handled Lena's belongings. Lucas gave a full confession. He told police everything. How he helped Daniel, how they moved the body, how he kept the secret after Daniel's death. But then a reversal. Lucas' lawyer claimed the confession was coerced, that he was under duress, that he had been misled by Detective Ruiz. Lucas recanted. A judge reviewed the case. Without additional evidence tying Lucas to the crime, and with the confession withdrawn, the court dismissed the charges. Daniel Cho was gone. Lucas Cho walked free, and a second DNA profile found at the grave site, still unidentified. Lena Whitaker never made it those last 50 yards. Her backpack was found, her doll recovered, her remains laid to rest. But her case? It's still tangled in shadows. A boy who lied, a brother who covered, a confession that vanished in court, and a mother who still visits the place where her daughter was buried, month after month, leaving lilies, whispering her name. Joanna Whitaker never moved. Lena's room remains untouched, her bed still made, her stuffed animals still in perfect order. Some mysteries never find justice, but that doesn't mean they should be forgotten. Subscribe for more stories of unsolved truths, buried secrets, and the fight to keep victims' names alive.